Hello friends and welcome to another video. And I know it's been a while since we've been on here on YouTube. Actually, if you date back to our last video, we were actually here in our condo in Bangkok. We went through a very traumatic situation here. We signed a 1-year lease to this condo. It's been 2 months since we've posted a video. We just haven't been able to get into this social media thing again after what happened. And that's what this video is all about. We're going to explain exactly what happened and how this situation was just so traumatic for us, and it kind of still does have an effect on us coming back to this building and living here, because we still have, I don't know, 6-7 months left in our contract here. So we're just going to go ahead and show you what the situation was like, and hopefully you will get an idea of what we experienced, and we'll kind of move forward with it. So everything kind of started out here in this space.
And this is an office space which is located on the 39th floor of our condo building. And we were working here filming a video for one of our businesses, and we're just going on about our day.
Irina said, "Devon, do you feel that?" And I'm like, "Feel what?" And she's like, "It's shaking." And I'm like, "I don't feel anything." Meanwhile, she's looking at my leg, because I have a tendency of always shaking my leg under the table, and she thought maybe that, you know, the table was shaking because of that. And I'm like, "No, it's not that."
And all of a sudden I started feeling dizzy, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I hear the door starting to make a little clicking,
Banging noise. Yeah. So the doors were actually kind of like swaying, and now the building is beginning to sway. That's when I realized, like, this is an earthquake. So I said, "Irina, this is an earthquake." So at this point, we had our tripod set up with my camera, because we were filming ourselves. We had our laptop, some hard drives, and I just basically said, we need to get out of here. We're going to trace all our steps on how we got out of here and how traumatic the situation was. So just bear with us as this story starts to unfold.
I was so scared. I did not know what to do. We left our camera, our tripod, just grabbed our laptops, and we ran outside. And the thing is, yes, logically you do need to take the stairs, but we were panicking so much, and there is an exit door right here with a sign, but we totally missed that. We did not even notice it, and we came here the only way we knew, through the elevator.
Right. Now, being here, like, again, we don't know where all the exits are, and everything is happening in the moment. So the first thing I did, I decided, you know what, the only way out of this floor, we're on the 39th floor. To get upstairs to the 40th floor, the only way we knew how to do that was to take an elevator. We just showed you there is an exit sign here with an exit, but we had no idea. We ran out of this area, we pressed the elevator, and now we're inside the elevator. At this point, as you can see, it goes 40, 39, 38. These are the only floors this elevator goes to. I am now looking out, and the building is rocking. This elevator shaft was rocking.
This was the biggest mistake, and that's when I started shaking and trembling, because you hear, this is a glass elevator, and you can hear banging against the sides. And once you walk out, you're in this cube, and you're pretty much on the top floor. There's one more floor above us. This is the 40th floor. And we see the pool. As the building starts swaying, the pool started forming about 4 feet waves, and it was splashing all the way to these glass doors. I was shaking so much, my friends, I could not move. My husband sat me down. I'm sitting right here shaking, and I don't know where to go. I don't know, so many thoughts going through my mind. If we should try to run down and go down, what if the building is collapsing? I literally thought that would be my last day of my life.
Yeah, it was wild. While we were actually coming up in the elevator, like I said, we felt the elevator actually rocking inside of the shaft. And then we heard like a big boom. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we're just gonna get stuck in this elevator. The elevator stopped for what felt like at least 3 seconds, and then slowly it came up to this door. So when this door opened up, I was like, oh my God, thank God. But then when we look out here and we see the wave, this pool was actually splashing all the way up to this door and then swinging back out again over the rail.
So people who were already evacuated outside, they were actually filming the water splashing, water falling all the way from the 40th floor down. And in my mind, I thought, this is a glass panels. They can, if we come out from that glass box, the water can easily sweep us,
right?
And we could easily, if the glass is cracked,
yeah,
we
can sweep us right
yeah,
over.
we can easily go over the edge. And again, the waves were so strong and high. This entire walkway was flooded. So I could not move, and my husband took action, and he timed when the wave was going out towards the edge. He grabbed me and we ran through this pathway.
And at this point now, as we're running, I'm thinking, I don't know where I'm running to. I don't know where none of the exits are. So at this point, with the waves kind of splashing up against the wall here and swinging out, we just had to time it so that when the wave was going out, that's when we would run. Now at this point, I didn't know where the exits were for the staircase. And as we were running, Irina passed this point and I happened to look this way and I saw this. And I'm like, well, it looks like an exit to me. So I told Irina, come back, this is the exit. We went in here, this happens to be one of the exits, and I closed the door, the water was kind of splashing everywhere. And we started running down 40 floors as fast as our legs can take us.
And as we were running down, that was another scary part, is my legs are shaking. I'm very stiff. I'm trying to run as fast as I can without falling down. As we're running down, we see all the cracks on the wall and plaster falling down.
And the crazy thing, being that we were up here on the 40th floor, I believe we were probably the only ones up here at this time. Now, mind you, this happened at around between 1 and 1:30 in the afternoon. The gym is located right down the end of this hall. But as we were going down the stairs, we only passed two girls going down 40 flights of steps. Now, mind you though, this building is fairly new, as we mentioned in our last video. So there's not a lot of people that actually live here, but still, when we spoke to other people after we made it outside, they told us like it was chaos going down those stairs because people were pushing and running. Everybody's going down at different speeds, and they're seeing the walls like cracking before their very eyes. We have a lot of footage that, you know, you'll be seeing throughout this video where we show you people in their building. You see the walls separate and then they close. It's like the wall was breathing, and it was insane. We never went down back to our apartment, of course, so we just ran all the way down as fast as our legs can take us, 40 flights of stairs.
As we're running downstairs, one thing keeps on my mind is if the bottom doors would be locked or not.
As you know, some buildings, we've used exits before, and when you get downstairs to the floor you want to exit on, you can't push it, it's locked. So yes, that was definitely playing on my mind as well, hoping that the one downstairs would be open. Otherwise, we would probably have to try the other floors up top and try to find another way to get out the building. Now, meanwhile, the building is this earthquake, they said it lasted for like what?
5 minutes.
It was 5 minutes. Can you imagine 5 minutes? Sometimes, like, I've been in tremors, not earthquake, in New York, but it's so tiny and it's so small and short that sometimes you question it. You're like, was that an earthquake? Did I feel tremors? Oh, maybe it wasn't. Then you might hear it from someone else during the day, like, oh, did you guys feel this tremor today? And you're like, oh wow, I did feel a tremor. But that's the way I experienced earthquake. Nothing near this. Like, the building, it's such a wild feeling, because a lot of times I've seen earthquake videos, especially like Japan, and whenever they're in an earthquake, you see all the chandeliers swaying in office buildings, everything is shifting, and people are just on the floor and they're just kind of looking around. And when I see this, I'm kind of like, well, why are they just sitting there on the floor? Like, why wouldn't you try to get out of there? When you're in it, it's a totally different situation, because you're trying to understand what it is that's going on, what it is that you're feeling, what you're going to do, and
but
try to
also off balance.
Oh, very off balance. So it's not like you can get up and start running, because the way it's shifting, Irina actually said it in a really good way. If you've ever been on a cruise ship in bad weather,
not even cruise ship,
like
any boat.
And you feel that kind of uneasy rocking, that's what it really feels like. So you can't even stand up and run because you're off-centered. So the first thing that comes to mind is literally just get down on the floor and just wait for it to basically pass. And that's what I kept telling Irina when she was on the floor, and she was crying, and I'm like, it's gonna pass, it's gonna pass, we're gonna be okay, we're gonna be okay. But in my mind, I'm also thinking, man, like, it started when we were in the room, we took the elevator up, and now we're here, and it's still going, and it's getting stronger. It's not even like letting up. So I've never been in this situation myself. But I think our experiences was different because I was focusing on her and trying to get her kind of calm and collected so that when we are ready to move or to run, she is with me, and it's not like, she locks and freezes up, because I know these things happen. So
and I felt trapped. And I felt trapped in that glass box, especially with the water splashing on the glass. And I felt like there is no way out. And it literally felt like the building was just on the verge of collapsing.
Yeah, I literally thought the building was going to collapse. In all honesty, I didn't really see a way out of this. But, it worked out. We ran out of the building down the staircase. The bottom door opened up. We ran out of the building and we ran towards the front, towards the streets. That's when we saw thousands of people in the streets. Everyone is looking up at our building, and you can see the cascade of water pouring out of our pool. Literally, it was like a waterfall, 40 floors up. And down, sorry. And it was just incredible. Irina asked me, do you want me to take out the phone and like get footage? And that was one time that I was kind of like, I don't even want to think about filming anything. I don't want to capture anything. I was just so relieved that we were out of there, and we kind of dodged a bullet. So I didn't want to do anything with the phone. Irina was the only one with her phone. I left my phone in our apartment. So the only thing we had with us was our 2 laptops and her phone. Again, we left my camera on the tripod, everything in the room, and we just kind of got out of there.
And this was the first time we actually got to meet our neighbors.
Yeah, because everyone was outside. Guys, let me tell you, this was so bad. People were outside without shoes, without shirt. People were just in underwears in the street. Because when this happened, everyone just bolted out of their homes. No one was trying to get your clothes and put on your clothes, or find something if you're barefooted, trying to find slipper or shoe to put on. People are just outside, and it's really cool because you could see the Thai people, how they all come together. So basically, once we were out of the building, they moved us further away from the building because they thought maybe the building was going to collapse. And there's a park just like a half a block away, and everyone congregated to that park. Not only our building, all the surrounding buildings in this area, the mall, the shopping malls, everything, the supermarkets next to us, everyone went there. And within probably half an hour, they started bringing cases of water. Everyone bringing cases of water because it was hot. And people were drinking water. They gave us...
people were crying.
Yeah, it was really, really, really bad. But you really saw the Thai people pull together. The people, the administration in this building, the management, they were amazing. All the people in this building that work for the building, they have different uniforms. Like the woman at the front desk, they have a certain uniform. The people who work in the cleaning, sales, they all wear different uniform. And they were trying to kind of source everyone who lived in this building in the park, find them. And they gave us this yellow band that says, trust our father, or something of that nature,
to identify that this is people from our condo.
Right. And they gave us like a fan for us to fan ourselves. Again, people are just laid up in the park.
They
it was just chaotic.
They were giving out snacks. They were giving out the things to sniff that they like in Thailand. I don't know what's
it's like a mint thing that they always smell.
What's the official name for it?
Yeah. So they really
even
pulled
slippers.
together.
They were giving out slippers to those people who ran out without shoes.
They're taking it off of their feet and giving it to other people who didn't have slippers on their feet. Sometimes they would go into the supermarket, I guess, and buy slippers and was giving it out. I met this guy from UK. He was in the park with his underwear. That's all he had on. No top and just in underwear. And he's like, I just ran out my apartment and I had underwear on and that was it. And I'm like, wow, it was just wild.
Some people were literally running out of the shower.
Yeah. So fast forward after that happened, again, this all happened at around between 1:30. Now it's around 5 o'clock in the evening. We're still in the park. We come back to the building area to kind of figure out, hey, does anyone have any news about what's going on? What they did was they started organizing people to come back into the building, and they gave you 20 minutes to go up to your apartment and grab your necessities.
passports. Yeah.
Right, whatever it is that you needed, they give you 20 minutes. But the way they did it, they only allowed X amount of people up by floors, and you would have to leave your name and your phone number. This way, God forbid, the building did collapse, they know how many people are in it, and they have all your information. Well, at least your phone
Or if
number.
you don't return in 20 minutes, they try to find you.
Right, exactly, because now they have an exact head count of humans that are in the building. So they gave us access. We went upstairs. So now, remember, we ran 40 flights down. Now, few hours later, they allowed us back in the building. We're walking 33 flights up because we live on the 33rd floor. So as we were walking up, we're assessing all the damage in the staircase, because obviously you can't use elevators. The damage was just crazy. So much cracks on the wall and chipped paint, and it was wild. It was wild. And of course we have footage of that. I was thinking to myself as I was walking up the stairs, I'm like, God forbid there's an aftershock. And for those of you who might wonder if there was an aftershock, I think there was, but it wasn't.
It was several days later, and we were already out.
We already gone. So as I was walking up, I'm thinking to myself, if another earthquake hits, or if there's another aftershock or something, like, there is nothing I could have done. I can't run. At this point, my legs was jello. My legs were shot. They were super, super weak, and it was already, like, it was sore from running down the 40 flights. And I kept telling Irina as we were walking up, I said, Irina, please, once we get upstairs, let's think about what it is that we're going to grab when we get up there so we could get what we need to get and get out.
I couldn't think of anything. I was still in shock.
Yeah, and at that point too, there's not a lot of light in the building because they shut off the power, right? Because if there's a collapse and there's, whatever. So I just basically got into the apartment. I knew we always kind of keep our stuff organized in the sense, like, if there's an emergency, we have a certain bag that has our passports and all the important documents. So I grabbed that. I grabbed probably 3 t-shirts and underwear, just
minimal, very minimal
basic
clothes.
stuff. And Irina came down. She grabbed a few things. We took our bags and we just came back downstairs. So now, 40 flights down, 33 flights up, and then 33 flights back down. Total of, 109 stories we might have walked that entire day. And now we're trying to find a place to stay because no one in all the condos here, and there's a lot of condos, high rises, they don't have a place to stay. You can't go back in your building because all these buildings suffered damage, and it has to be inspected to see if you can actually come back in, if it's livable. So we decided to go to a hotel. Of course, Irina might have stayed half an hour on the phone trying to find a hotel, right?
Yeah, everything was booked. And I called another hotel, and the lady was so nice. She said, we have 1 room left, but the condition of that room is bad. It smells like mold. So it was so sweet that she was so honest. So yeah. I ended up booking another hotel with a more expensive room, and that was again the only room left. So now we have the hotel, and I specifically wanted a hotel nearby because there was no taxi.
Yes, there was no taxi, there was no buses. Even like the scooters that you can hop on here, like the Grab scooters that you could get around for transportation, you couldn't get those. Nothing was running. And we really wanted to leave that night after we got our important stuff. We really wanted to take the bus 2 hours to Pattaya, 2 hours from Bangkok. No bus was running. That's the reason why we were forced to stay.
And no taxi.
Right.
I was trying to book a taxi through Grab, through Bolt. There was no taxi available to Pattaya, no taxi available to the hotel.
Yeah. So we decided again, we got the hotel, and now we're calling all the different taxi services to try to get us to the hotel. Impossible, wasn't happening. So Irina came up with the plan, we have security guards, 24-hour security guards right at the entrance of our building. Irina's like, let me see if I can ask them if they know or how we can get to. So she came in, she spoke to them, and they took their personal scooters from this building, and they were like, jump on, we'll take you to your hotel. Literally, like, we're gonna make a video in the future about Thai people, their culture, and how they are, because we've already had so many instances that you wouldn't believe how they are and how caring and giving they are. It's incredible. But anyway, they took us on their scooter, got us to the hotel, and we spent the overnight at the hotel near this building. And the following day, we took the bus to Pattaya, and that's where we were for an entire month. We wanted to cool out. We wanted to relax.
And we wanted to make sure the building has proper inspection done, and we wanted to make sure there is no aftershock.
Yes. The beautiful thing about this building, again, the building, the staff, everything is just
Management.
is just amazing. Irina asked me, she's like, when she was booking the Airbnb in Pattaya, she's like, how long should we stay there? I said, well, let's stay at least a month because we got to give these people time. I don't know how fast they work. I don't know how slow they work. I don't know if we're even going to be able to come back in. So let's give it a good period of time. If they work fast enough and they could get it done, then it's okay. We're in Pattaya. We're 2 hours away. No big deal. We'll just stay out there for the month and then come back. Well, while we were out there, Irina was able to get on a group chat. They actually constructed a group chat for everyone who lives in this building. Now, mind you, the people who live in this building, they're not really like renting. These are apartments.
They are mostly locals,
Right.
And so this building is not allowed for Airbnb. It's only long-term rental. So we are renting it from a person who actually
Owns
bought
it, yes.
the unit. And in the group chat, it's mostly Thai people, and there are some foreigners who renting or foreigners who bought the apartment. So that group chat, they installed a bot that translates from Thai to English and vice versa, so everybody can be on the same page and everybody can understand.
And that was amazing because the whole time we were in Pattaya for the month, Irina was getting tons of messages. They would show us, okay, inspection has started. This was like maybe 2 days after, right? The earthquake.
And I don't know, maybe even next day.
Yeah, and they show you, they take photos, because they do a lot of that here. They always take photos of the inspectors looking at the pool, looking at the piping, and they take pictures of them inspecting the building, and they're telling you step by step exactly what it is that they're doing every moment that they're doing it.
And they also telling us what has damages, what doesn't have damages.
Yeah, so along the whole way, we knew exactly what was going on in the building. They kept us up to date the entire time. Floods of messages. And of course, everyone can chat with each other because all the people who have the owners of these apartments, they were also like, oh, my apartment suffered damages. And they would have people go up to the apartments and look. Now, because we were in Pattaya for a month, they reached out to us. They said, we're getting an odor from your apartment. Can we go in? And we were like, sure. But also they wanted to check on the condition of our apartment. Now, this was already kind of like 2.5 weeks in, almost 3 weeks into us being in Pattaya. So we gave them permission to go into our apartment, and we told them, anything that you see in there that's perishable, you guys can throw it out. We don't care. I guess that's what's smelling because, you know, we just kind of left in a rush.
And the electricity was shut down.
Right.
So everything's spoiled.
Yeah. And that's what the smell was. Fortunately for us, when we actually did come back, it was just, in our refrigerator, we just had fruits and vegetables. We didn't have any meats. So maybe that's what was spoiling in the beginning, and it smelled because the fruit was decaying and the vegetables. Then after that, the mold took over. Our refrigerator looked like something from an alien movie. When I opened that refrigerator after coming back for 1 month, it was covered in mold. Like, I've never seen anything like that.
Our cleaner was cleaning our apartment for 5 hours.
Yes, it was crazy. But again, you know, it was hard for us. It was really hard. The night we stayed at the hotel, Irina kept waking up because she felt like everything was shaking around her. And that happened actually throughout the time we were staying in Pattaya.
Yeah.
It's just been difficult. Okay, so we've been back in this building 3 weeks. We came back in, and you know, it's still kind of like, sometimes I personally get the feeling like the building is shaking, but I always have to remind myself, like, you know, like it's just my mind. But what I do, and you don't even know this, but what I do is sometimes when I'm sitting around the desk, around the table, and I'm working, I have a bottle of water that's on there, and there's about this much amount of water in the bottle. And whenever I feel like, did I just feel a shake? I look at the bottle of water, and the bottle of water is still. So I know it's just me.
Yeah.
And it's a way for me to kind of keep reminding myself, like, you know, you're just kind of going through this because you're coming back to the same building where you had this traumatic situation. So it's not, you know, best of things, but you know, you got to cope. I know a lot of expats who moved to Thailand, they now move back to the US. They're like, yeah, I'm not staying here. But at the end of the day for us, I mean, I understand everyone has their way of doing things. But for us, it's like, what are we exactly running from? Like, we could walk out there in a heartbeat and get hit by a bus, or, you know, you just, like, you don't know.
There are a lot of disasters happening in the US as well.
Right.
Tornadoes, hurricanes, wildfires.
But again, and not even an event like that. Just, I mean, we can expire at any given moment. We never know when anything is going to happen. So what exactly are we running away from? Besides that, this is not even like Tokyo or in Japan or anything where they always have earthquakes. Bangkok don't get earthquakes like that. So I might go my entire life and Bangkok never gets another earthquake. So it's that rare. So we just thought, because at one point when we were in Pattaya, we were thinking, do we move now to KL, Kuala Lumpur? Because we love it there, and that was an option between Bangkok and Kuala Lumpur. So I told Irina, do you want to just get our stuff when we can get back into the apartment and we just move everything to Kuala Lumpur and find a place there for a year? She said no, she really likes the building, she likes the place. And I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah. And after all those inspections, they did not find any structural damage.
Yes.
And obviously there's a lot of cosmetic damage that was happening, but the good thing is our building is still selling the units, so they are very on
top of everything,
top of all the renovations.
Yes.
So it's been almost 2 months, and our building is near completed with all renovations. And as far as our unit goes, we have very minimal damage. We just have a few cracks on the ceiling and one bigger crack on the wall, but it's in the corner, so you pretty much don't see it. Overall, I do have PTSD, but I do feel safe in our building. I know our developer did a really good job building it, because comparing to other videos that I have seen from other condos, they have gaps, literally like this, gaps in the building. So few buildings were deemed unlivable, and other building has way less damage than most buildings in Bangkok. And if you don't know, one building unfortunately did collapse due to faulty materials that were used, and it was still in the process of building. And unfortunately there are some workers that got trapped, and very few got saved.
So again, the reason we're making this video, it's, you know, now it's been almost a few months since this has all happened, is because now we feel like, you know, we can talk about it. It's kind of okay now, because it was just way too much for us to really even do. We didn't even want to film any type of vlogs. We didn't want to do anything, to be honest with you. And, you know, when you go through something like this, I know us explaining it to you right now, you can't imagine what it feels like. You can't explain it to anyone, put it that way. It's only if you have been in an earthquake of this magnitude can you then relate to what it is that we're saying. And
again, for some people it might not be as significant, because they might be on the lower floor, they just ran out like, oh, okay, so everything is shaken, but I'm okay. But we being trapped on the 40th floor, it was really traumatic, and we needed time to heal.
Yes, so here we are making this video, and you know, again, you know, we'll be moving forward. We have other videos. It was our anniversary a few weeks back, and we did some stuff here in Bangkok. We're going to be posting that video moving forward, and hopefully we're going to be creating a little bit more videos. But, you know, as it is right now, you know, we're still in the healing process and moving forward. So,
but the most important thing is that we are safe. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.